This happens year after year after year. Then it chokes and grab is imposed. Air purifiers clog, netizens fume. But how do air purifiers work? Does it support lung and heart health?
Hello and welcome to another episode of Explain, brought to you by NewsX. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. With the AQI crossing limits and increasing day by day, the need for clean air is a must in every household. With that said, of course, an air purifier is currently being used overtime in every house due to the state of the air. How does an air purifier help and how exactly does it work? Well, let's take a look at the specifics. Every year, as winter settles across North India, a familiar anxiety returns with it. A thick blanket of smog that blurs skylines, irritates lungs and pushes millions indoors looking for relief. We see the AQI jump from moderate to hazardous in a matter of hours. We watch schools shut down, flights get delayed and the air around us turn visibly grey. And as the pollution crisis grows deeper and more seasonal, one device shows up at the centre of every conversation: the air purifier. You've seen them everywhere, from bedrooms and offices to hospitals and hotel lobbies. They hum quietly in corners, they promise to clean your air, and they come with labels like HEPA filter, PM 2.5 protection, activated carbon, H13 grade, H14 grade, CADR, 3-stage filtration, and of course much more. But behind all this marketing, there is one simple question most people still struggle to answer. How does an air purifier actually work? What does it physically do to the air inside your home? What exactly are the filters made of, and how do the different grades actually make a difference to your lungs? Well, this is where the science becomes both fascinating and surprisingly simple. Because an air purifier doesn't produce oxygen and it doesn't destroy pollutants. It uses an engineered mix of physics, airflow and filtration technology to trap particles and gases that are floating in the air. It doesn't eliminate pollution outdoors, but it gives you a controlled microenvironment indoors where the air can be significantly cleaner and safer to breathe. At the center of this device lies the most important component, the filter system. 3 layers do most of the heavy lifting. The first is a pre-filter that traps visible dust, hair, fabric, fibers. The second is a HEPA filter that captures microscopic particles which include PM 2.5, PM10, smoke, allergens, bacteria-laden droplets and even ultrafine particulate matter. And thirdly, an activated carbon filter that absorbs gases, chemical fumes, industrial vapors and household odors. But even within this simple stack, the details matter enormously. Not all HEPA filters are the same. Some are lower grade, designed for basic dust removal. Others, especially H13 and H14, meet extremely strict international standards and trap nearly every harmful particle in the air. Similarly, not all carbon filters are effective. Some use a light coating of carbon dust that does almost nothing. Others use thick, densely packed beds of activated carbon, the kind that can actually absorb VOCs, smoke and formaldehyde. To understand how an air purifier works, you have to start with the simplest yet most crucial part of the machine: airflow. Every purifier, no matter how advanced, depends on one basic principle: pull dirty air in, push clean air out. And this entire process is powered by a fan. Inside a purifier, there is a high-efficiency fan system designed to create continuous circulation. It draws polluted indoor air from all directions, sometimes 180 degrees, sometimes a full 360 degrees, depending on the model. Once the air enters the machine, it travels through a carefully engineered pathway that forces it through multiple filters arranged like checkpoints. The pre-filter is the first line of defense. This is a coarse mesh layer designed to catch larger pollutants: hair, lint, visible dust, pet fur, textile fibers, and coarse PM10 particles. Without this layer, big debris would hit the delicate HEPA filter directly and clog it quickly. The pre-filter protects the system and extends the purifier's life. Once the large particles are removed, air moves to the real workhorse of the purifier, the HEPA filter. This is a dense, folded sheet made of microfibers that captures the pollutants responsible for smog and breathing irritation: PM 2.5, smoke particles, pollen mold spores, and microscopic aerosol droplets. The air is pushed through this labyrinth at a controlled speed. As it flows, particles get trapped by 3 physical forces: interception, impaction, and diffusion. The filter doesn't strain particles like a sieve, it captures them using physics, making HEPA one of the most effective filtration technologies ever invented. After leaving the HEPA layer, the air still holds invisible gases, VOCs, chemical fumes, traffic pollution, and cooking odor. These gases cannot be trapped by HEPA, So the air passes into the activated carbon filter, a layer filled with millions of microscopic pores. These pores act like molecular sponges. Gases stick to the carbon surface through a process called absorption. The more carbon a filter has and the more densely backed it is, the better it performs. Finally, after passing all three stages, the air is pushed back into your room, now dramatically cleaner. The purifier repeats the cycle dozens of times every hour, constantly refreshing the air in the space. This is the core functioning of every air purifier, a controlled airflow system that forces polluted air through layers specifically designed to trap both particles and gases. As you can see now on your screens, this is a visual that a Delhi influencer had posted to show what the air really looks like currently in Delhi and what the difference is between the air inside versus outside. And it is alarming, even with air purifiers running AQI shooting from 100 to 500 within minutes. The city's toxic air isn't just outside anymore, it is also inside. It is seeping into our homes. You can clearly see this in the video. As soon as this person opens their main door, the numbers on the air purifier go up at quite a speed. Here now on your screens is another visual in which the person is showing you their air purifier. This air purifier, he has said, has been active for about a month, and you can clearly see the amount of dust in the filter just within a short span of a month. This is absolutely shocking. Breathing air should not be a luxury. The next visual on your screens now is of another influencer from Delhi who's unboxed their air purifier and shown the difference within 2 weeks of using it. You can clearly see how much dust has accumulated within even a shorter period than a month. This is absurdity of the fact that the air outside and the air inside is likely very similar. Now on your screens you can see another visual which is showcasing an influencer cleaning their filter of the air purifier they've been recently using, and the sheer amount of dust is visible. The influencer in question has furthermore captioned the post saying, "Do you still want to live in Delhi?" This is the question many are currently pondering. In another similar video of an influencer cleaning their air purifier's filter, we can see just the dust in each video is increasing like the AQI. The influencer has captioned this post jokingly stating, "In Delhi, even air purifiers deserve a spa day." This attention the post is getting is tremendous because people are just shocked at the reality of how bad the air quality actually is. Breathing clean air should not be a luxury, yet here we are watching air purifiers struggling to keep up. Joining us live, Padma Shri Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, Chairman, Nephron Clinic. Dr. Bagai, how effective really are air purifiers in helping purifying the toxic air, particularly in the national capital of Delhi?
Good evening. I think the new buzzword in everyone's life is air purifiers. Initially, it was just occasionally discussed. Now it's there in every house and in fact in every room, especially in every room for children. So air purifiers are effective, provided the room windows and doors are closed, provided the make of the company is good, it's authentic, provided the filters are regularly cleaned, and depending upon the AMCs, they should be changed at a frequency which is required. Using an old filter or an old machine will not be as effective. I think it's important to keep the AQI with closed doors and windows well below 50. It's possible. And use a better filtering type of membrane, which we call as a HEPA filter. And now we have a HEPA 13, which even filters the ultra fine particles, less than 1 micron. So the routine filters will filter between 2.5 PM 2.5 and PM5 and PM10. But the H3, which is the HEPA 13, filters the ultra fine particles, which is extremely important. The ozone and the ionic ones are not very good. Although they are still available in the market, ozone, in fact, is being barred in many countries. The ionic ones are not very good because they ionize the pollutants to create volatile organic compounds and certain other toxic chemicals in the air, which in fact can be even more harmful.
Absolutely. Also, Dr. Bagai, how will an air purifier in one's home and one's rooms actually help a person's health vis-a-vis without having an air purifier?
The unfortunate thing is that we are there in the room, say for 8 hours, 7 hours, 10 hours, and very occasionally the doors or there is some leakage as far as the entry and exit is concerned. But most of the time, be it children, adolescents, elderlies, or the geriatric age group, are outside the zone of an air purifier. So that's like walking outside or walking in the garden or walking on the terrace. Mind you, what is not visible are the ultrafine particles and the dust. So what we actually see on our white collar when we come back in the evenings is a black line. That's called as black carbon or soot and dust. That's exactly what we are inhaling. So I think as much as possible, if we can stay in an environment where the AQI is well below 50, it's really beneficial. There are long-term studies which have shown pulmonary lung functions to deteriorate even in a 12-hour exposure, especially in children and the vulnerable. So I think it's extremely important that we start really looking into what we are breathing and what's being deposited in our lungs.
Okay. Also, a final question then to Dr. Bagaya. How does one really decide which air purifier to buy? Which is better than the other? And what is the mechanism used by an air purifier, and how does it differ from one variant to the other?
So I think there are lots of companies and each one promote their own physics and brand. But look out for a high filtering rate, which gives you at least 4.8 air cycles cleaned per hour. That's the minimum rate which is required. So the air needs to be recirculated and filtered and put back into the room. Point number two, make sure that it doesn't cause dryness in the room. So there are some air purifiers which come with a humidifier. Point number three is look out for something which even filters the ultrafine particles. So the HEPA filters have now come with the advanced version. And lastly, most importantly, is we need to make sure that the air purifiers are cleaned and the filters at least every 4 to 6 months actually changed.
Dr. Bagaya, I appreciate you joining us with your perspective on this big story. Let's slip into a short break.
This happens year after year after year. Then it chokes and wrappers imposed. Air purifiers clog, netizens fume. But how do air purifiers work? Does it support lung and heart health?